Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Sunday. So I didn't think I was actually going to be filming today, so my hair is still actually wet from the shower, but I've decided to film anyway because who cares, right? I was doing a live stream this past week, and I wish I could remember your name, but someone asked me in that live stream what my top candles were from my favorite companies. And I was trying to think back if I have done a video like this before. I have certainly done favorites videos in the past, but I thought this would be kind of a fun, different type of video for today in terms of home fragrance stuff. So I have a list. I took some time to really think about what I would consider at this point in time my favorite holy grail type scents from my top companies. So these are as of right now today. It could change depending on what these different companies come out with. It could kick one of these scents out. Who knows? Who knows? I'll do an updated version maybe later on this year or next year. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it once a year. Anyway, so I decided to just choose kind of my top 4 candle companies for right now. I also plan to do one of these for Scentsy at some point in the near future because there's certainly quite a number of favorites that I have from Scentsy. So, but we'll do those at another time. Today will be dedicated to candles. So, all right, I've got my list here. I'm going to be reading off of it. And I'm going to start with Bath & Body Works because Bath & Body Works, and really actually Yankee before Bath & Body Works, were my two go-to companies for purchasing candles, home fragrance stuff, right? I think for a lot of us, that's kind of where we started out. So with Bath & Body Works, I narrowed it down to 5. So I have 5 for each of these companies. It was really hard to narrow it down to 5. Honestly, I think with each of these, I could easily have 10, but in the interest of being somewhat concise and a little bit more brief, we're sticking to 5. Okay, nutmeg and spice. Love nutmeg and spice. That was one that I used to love to burn around the holiday time. I wish it was a holiday staple every single year because I think it is one of the most beautiful gourmand scents that they have. When I would burn that, by the way, I still have one left from, I think it's 2012 maybe, 11 or 12, somewhere around there. And I did burn another backup that I had this past year, but sadly it was mostly unscented, which broke my heart. However, I still have the one that I'm saving for this holiday, and I won't be able to smell it very well, but nostalgia. But it's just this warm, comforting, bakery inspired scent that definitely has some strong notes of nutmeg, but also to me, it smelled like a sugar cookie that had a good amount of nutmeg mixed into the sugar cookie while it was baking. That's always what nutmeg and spice smelled like to me, and it reminds me of just happy times during the holidays. So I wish it would come back. Blackberry bramble tea. This was one that I think only came out for 1 year, and I fell in love with it. I still have a few backups. I have slowly kind of each fall been burning either one of my little mason jars that I have left or one of the 3 wicks. Recently when I was looking through my candles, I think I maybe have 2 of the 3 wicks left. It may actually only be 1, but Sad Panda, that one is amazing. Love blackberry bramble tea. Cranberry pumpkin, another one that they put out, I feel, for 1 year and then just never brought it back again. People loved cranberry pumpkin. I picked up so many. Luckily, I still have several backups, and I will be burning through those over the next few falls to, make sure that I'm enjoying them before they start to kind of peter out. I burned, I think, 1 or 2 this past fall, and it seems to still be okay as of right now, but I can tell that probably within a couple of years it's going to go the way of my nutmeg and spice, where it's not going to be nearly as strong, which is so sad that the candles aren't keeping the way that they used to, I feel like. Berry waffle cone. You guys knew this one was going to be in here. I think it's one of the most delicious, fun, summery, fruity, but bakery scents that they've put out in a long time. It's so delicious. I have a ton of backups. I don't think anything that they have like re-released since the very first time they put it out has been quite as good as that purple like ribbed glass that I show you guys in my empties. I just think that that one was the very best, and I will be sad when I finish all of those, but they have since brought it back. I just don't think it was the same. The wicks weren't the same. I don't think the formula really was exactly the same, and the burn not nearly as good as that original ribbed purple glass that they had. And then the very last one, I wanted to pick something in like the holiday specific category. Maybe that wasn't like a foodie type scent. So I went with vanilla balsam. I really love vanilla balsam. I think it is one of the most beautiful like tree scents that Bath and Body Works puts out every single year. And I've been really excited that they have brought it back. It was here a few years ago and I bought a bunch, and then it didn't come back for a few years, and then it was back this last Christmas, and I definitely picked up a few. I wish I would have probably bought a few more because my fear is it won't come back this year again, but fingers crossed. I mean, they seem to be getting a little bit better about bringing some amazing things back. But anyway, so that was Bath and Body Works. Let's go to Yankee, which is my other like kind of OG candle company. This one was fairly easy because I've had these favorites with Yankee forever. Cranberry chutney. Cranberry chutney is really what started it for me with Yankee Candle. I have loved that scent since the 90s. I actually remember the first time I smelled it. I've told this story multiple times, but basically I was working at the mall after graduating from high school in 97, and I had a client that came in that had a bag from Yankee, and I just was like, it was wafting out of there. I was like, what is that smell? She told me it was cranberry chutney from Yankee Candle, and on my lunch break, I went down there and I bought my very first cranberry chutney, and it was incredible, and I've loved it ever since. I think it's one of the most delicious, like Thanksgiving. It's mostly a Thanksgiving candle for me, but really once it hits fall, I'm very comfortable starting to burn and melt, as in the melt cups, cranberry chutney like in the early fall. So typically October, November, and then I can take cranberry chutney through Christmas for sure. Snowflake Cookie. This is one of their most delicious cookie scents that they've ever had, and I really wish they would bring it back. It's like cookie dough, but so much better. Like a real authentic sweet sugar cookie dough that has those kind of baked elements to it as well. But also it's like a really interesting mix between a baked sugar cookie and like the raw dough. Like it's so good, you guys, and I wish that they would bring it back. Sugared apple. I believe this is now also discontinued. Sugared apple was one of my favorites for many years. A very sweet apple scent. Definitely could be cloying, but I always loved it. You guys know that I tend to go for gourmand fruity type scents, so it's kind of what I prefer personally the most. I know some of that stuff makes you guys cringe because you're like, oh, where's the fresh? Where's the spa? Where's the slightly more masculine? And that's just, it's not who I am. White Christmas. White Christmas for the longest time was my go-to like Christmas time candle. I loved it. I do believe it's discontinued now, but they have like re-released it through some of the candles that they put out like at TJ Maxx. I don't think those are really quite the same, but White Christmas with that beautiful pure white wax that they used to do with the just white church in the snow. Gorgeous. Loved it. I think I think I've finished all of my white Christmas candles now that I had in my backup stash, which kind of bums me out a little bit. And then the very last one is pumpkin pie. Who doesn't love pumpkin pie from Yankee? Like, it's so delicious. Pumpkin pie is probably my favorite, like, Thanksgiving treat. Most of the people in my family don't actually love it, but I love pumpkin pie. And this candle is just so authentic. You get that gorgeous, like, pumpkin pie spice filling with that beautiful crust note. Definitely one of their best. All right, let's go to Homeworks. Homeworks, as you guys know, is a go-to for me. They're definitely a newer company, especially with relation to like Bath & Body Works and Yankee. However, I've fallen in love with a lot of Homeworks candles, and so it was very easy for me to put together a list of 5. There could be so many more, though, within Homeworks as well, but the 5 that I came up with are Harvest Leaves, absolutely to die for. Berry Pumpkin Waffles, so good. It needs to come back this year in the fall. Autumn Pumpkin, amazing. He brought it back last fall. I think it's one of the most like kind of iconic fall type scents. Hot Cider Donut. Ugh, it's so good. And it's back. It's back. I will link it down below if it's still available today on Sunday when you guys are watching this. I don't know if they will have sold out. I bought a ton. Hot Cider Donut was released, I think, on Friday. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's still available for some of you to purchase. It's so good. I'll put a link down below in the description box. And then I wanted to also just pick something that wasn't in the like kind of heavier like autumn type scents type vein. So Farm Stand Strawberry. I think that Farm Stand Strawberry is one of the most yummy strawberry scents that I've ever smelled. I love it. Also, his Farm Stand Peaches was delicious, as was the Farm Stand Blueberry, although the blueberry was only ever released in the little fruit baskets that he had. Oh, that one was so good. He needs to bring back the blueberry as well, for sure. So those are my Homeworks picks for you guys. Again, there could have been so many more in this particular category. Amazing scents. Harry really, I feel like, has a knack for gourmand scents, and I think he does them the best. I really do. Nest. Nest is another company that I really absolutely adore. I feel like I'm a little bit newer to Nest. They're definitely spendier. You know, they're not inexpensive candles, but I do think that they have a lot more intensity than a lot of like, I guess, more mainstream candle companies. So like Bath & Body Works or Yankee. I tend to get really good throw and strength from the Nest 1-wick candles. Their 3-wick candles do fairly good for the vast majority of the candle, but typically by the time that I get to the last third or quarter of a 3-wick candle, it does peter out quite a bit. So I really prefer the 1-wick Nest candles for sure. I was easily able to come up with 5 scents. You'll probably know what the first 3 are. Holiday is number 1. I love Nest Holiday. It is to die for in terms of like Christmas festive type scents. It's just all of the delicious like holiday notes wrapped into one candle. Their new spiced orange and clove, oh, you guys fell in love with it. So basically at this point, spiced orange and clove as well as holiday are my top 2 like go-to holiday candles. I just don't think that anybody has anything else that is quite as sophisticated but beautiful and just like all encompassing of like the holiday season in terms of scent. I love those 2. Those will always be like die-hard holiday scents for me going forward for sure, especially the new spiced orange and clove. It's so good, you guys. And then Birchwood Pine, which is just a classic like Christmas tree type scent. I think it's really, really beautiful. Nothing fancy about it, but just really well done. And if you do fake trees like I do, it's just a wonderful way to bring that real tree smell indoors. and just have it be authentic and not headache inducing and not obnoxious in any kind of way. Love birchwood pine. And then the two kind of outside of the holiday scents that I love from Nest, the Sicilian tangerine is absolutely delightful. We are coming into spring and summer. You have to try that one if you're looking for a really fresh citrus scent. It's so good. And then also the apricot tea is really nice. It's such an interesting blend of that beautiful fruity apricot note with a really nicely balanced tea note. The two are done really well together, and it's definitely a summertime scent in my eyes. It's just so refreshing and just really kind of something fun and different during the summer months when I'm sure a lot of us are doing like super fruity or tropical type scents. I think the apricot tea is just something fun and different. So those are my top 5 from my top 4 companies. So yeah, let me know down below of the companies that I mentioned here. Let me know what your favorites are from each. You don't have to do like 5 necessarily from each unless you really want to. But yeah, let me know down below maybe your top 1 or 2 from Bath and Body Works, from Yankee, from Homeworks, and from Nest if you have any. So, all right, I hope you guys have a really great rest of your day. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you guys tomorrow for regular beauty content if that's what you're interested in. Otherwise, there will be more home fragrance stuff next weekend. All right, take care, guys. Bye.